6:30. Rich.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everybody. No scheduled speakers tonight, and we have a couple sets of meeting minutes, both from August 14th. Guess we'll do the public hearing one first, just to go ahead and do them. It was just a long motion on there that we had to read onto the record, and we placed the Eversource letter into the record for their request. So I'll make a motion we accept the August 14th special public hearing meeting minutes as drafted.
I'll second it.
Same.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And we got the regular August 14th meeting minutes for the board select meeting. I like all those little nitpicky changes in it that I did. Okay. It was just, guess I was in a mood.
I guess you were. I'll make a motion we accept as presented.
Second?
Same.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any public comments? Seeing none? We'll go right to Marilou, treasurer.
So treasurer, so I don't have a whole lot. We have just a few checks to sign and then bills to approve. I did submit today the MS 434, which is the revised revenue. So one of the last pieces towards setting the tax rate. So that's all submitted and on the DRA portal. So that should be good. And do we know about the MS one? Did it get done?
Don't know.
I didn't hear it. Why?
Not September
Its
1st.
date is
September 1st. I know he's aware of that.
Oh, yeah, I know, right,
And I don't know whether he's coming in before his day in or.
yeah. All right, just checking. And I think I'm working on the, some of the other projects, and that's probably about it for me.
Okay. And you did a spreadsheet last meeting, so we're good for a month.
Yep.
Tax collector, anything, Rose?
The tax collectors conference is, I think it's the 18th, 19th, and 20th of September. And Diana and I plan to go at least the first day and probably the second day and maybe not the third. And you should be getting a bill from her to recover her cost on that.
Sure. Okay. Admin assistant.
Do you want to discuss the website user permissions now, or you want to discuss?
Yeah, we'll do that now.
Okay. So Rose and I had our call a couple of weeks ago with the contact person regarding the website upgrade, and one of the things that we needed to do was get together a user list. So there's a copy for everybody. It's broken down by department. There's a name associated with each department, and then the level of access that they'll need. So that's my proposed list. I didn't know if you wanted to make any changes to that list.
So, if a person can't do it, or doesn't want to do it, I guess if they don't want to do it, we can deal with that. If they can't do it, how are we gonna handle that? If we're stretching somebody that they just can't master.
Maybe they can find a different person within that committee if they're willing to do that. So there's going to be a training day. The intent is to invite whomever we want to come in for the training. They'll be sent some information via email for creating a password, and that's what they'll use. They'll have personal login.
So it's the board's position, that's what I'm trying to get, at. The board's position that each department will do their own? It's like a question.
So there's gonna be minutes that are gonna be uploaded, like ZBA, Heritage,
And documents, I mean, you talk about the fire warden, he's got all his documents to go up there, you talk about the
Mhm.
planning board, all the documents, they have to go through Laurie today.
Meetings to post.
Meetings,
Notices
can
to
they
go
get to the
out.
calendar?
That's what I have on there, is the access that I think each department will need, and it does vary. They won't all need access to the same places.
right, as you see, you get department page and news announcement page, and then obviously an entire website for certain folks. What's your thoughts, guys? Do we want, you know,
I'll jump in, my thoughts are, they have to do it. I hear too many times, I send it to Laurie and it's not posted. Come to find out, maybe she never got it. So if a person's responsible for it, they should have the capability, in my opinion, to do it.
So this access is just to be able to post information on a website in
In
a
their,
specific place?
in their area. Is that right? I think that's right.
so, let's say conservation, they'll only have access to their page, they can't go to like any other page and have access, right? They're locked into that page.
They would have access to news and announcements,
Mhm.
so they can put a blurb out about a meeting.
Okay.
They would have access to the calendar, so they can post the meeting. So there would be other places in addition to just their page.
But they can't get to the selectmen's page.
Right.
And I think I don't know, I'm of the opinion, the way you have it set up, I think we should try it. Worst case, it becomes, you know, it doesn't work. We can regroup and try to make maybe a couple entire website people, like maybe the Board of Selectmen chair, you, Rose, and, you know, maybe Marilou, maybe, you know. But right now, I say, let's try it the way it is, no?
Well, you know, what I'm trying to say is that this list is not coming from these two. This is what the board wants to do. And they shouldn't be taking the heat that says, why do I have to do it? Well, it's the board.
no, this
the
is our
board-
just- yeah,
The
yeah.
board wants to do it this way.
I agree.
That's our position.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think the way this is set up, I think it makes the most sense, and it puts the work where it needs the most, you know, it's not that much work.
Shouldn't be.
It's not that often
It
you have to
shouldn't
do
be.
stuff.
It shouldn't be. It's just owning the responsibility.
My only concern is like minutes and documents. Do not people know how to convert stuff and scan stuff to get into PDF? Like my computer, I can convert anything into PDF, but a lot of people don't have the good PDF, Adobe.
What do they mail you, Lori? What do you mail when they give you
They
something?
usually send me a Word document, I convert it. So I don't need to scan anything because it's already on my computer, I just
Anybody
upload it.
Anybody that has Word typically can make it a
I
PDF.
would think so.
That's one of the
And
save
Adobe
as
is-
options.
Yes, it is.
But
Yes, it
But you
is.
just have to know that.
That's right.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
There's these people that are not gonna know that you can do a save as or print as PDF. And
Yeah.
So
That
maybe
should
you
come
can
up
put
with a
that in.
training.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe you should put that in the training.
Make that a topic.
Right, in the
Well,
training.
that might need to be an additional training, because the training that's taking place is with a representative from the company for website support. So she's not gonna be
Nope.
handling that part of it.
So would that be an all-day training?
So she's gonna come and do a group training from 9 to 11.
Yep.
And after that, there are 45-minute slots, I think, for one-on-one.
Okay.
I think in our case, Rose and I are gonna do a slot together with her. We're gonna need further training because we'll be doing a lot more.
So if that's from 9 to 11 plus a 45-minute slot, people will have to be hanging around. Maybe even something could be, we could write up something that says, here's a few other things you need to be aware of or you need to be able to do.
Because to convert a doc to PDF it's basically like a 3 or 4 step process. We can bullet point that out and
Yeah,
and just email
right.
to everyone.
Yeah.
Even to put screenshots with points to them.
Yep,
And I think we have to reinforce also that we only want to post PDFs. We don't want to post anything that is editable.
Right, that's,
Right.
yeah, that could be
Yeah.
a problem.
And we
Yeah,
also, do we also want to take the position, I'm assuming, of not posting minutes in draft form?
Approved minutes
for
only.
minutes. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Some don't get approved.
The 91A says something's gotta be available in 5 business days.
Right, but that doesn't mean available on the website.
That's correct. That's correct. So whatever process we establish, we're supposed to be consistent with it.
I just think putting draft minutes on are a mistake if they're not identified properly as a
Right.
draft and someone
Right.
assumes it's an
Well,
approved minutes.
I guess one of us should be here too, because I think a good policy would be, we gotta get the draft, put it in the book. When it's approved, put the approved up there. I think that satisfies the 91A.
Yes.
Do all these departments put drafts in a book right now?
No.
is your question, should they be?
Yes.
Yeah, but I suspect there's many places where minutes are missing.
I agree.
What date's the training?
The 18th.
18th.
September 18th.
Yes, it's a Tuesday.
Okay.
Time?
9 to 11 is the group training, and then she'll do individual sessions after.
You gonna train us, or are you gonna do ours?
Oh.
Or are you gonna be one of those that needs additional?
Maybe we need special training. We'll have to talk about it.
I'm, as far as I know right now, the only one set up with full admin access to the entire website. I'm requesting that Rose can be set up in the same way. I think there's only one page that she can't currently access.
Well, yeah, give her the full daily thing.
So I think it's, right now, I think it's just the selectmen page that she can't access, but in thinking about having a backup, I think it's wise for her to also have access.
No
Do you
comment.
agree?
No, I don't, I'm not discussing it.
Okay.
Okay. Do we want the selectmen to have access to the selectmen page, or do we want to have access to the entire website, or?
I guess that's up to you.
I think just the selectmen website would be fine, would make the most sense.
We can try it, we can change it, if we don't like it. This all can be changed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say we try to set us up on it as well,
Yep.
just for our page though,
Okay.
page and the calendar and stuff.
Okay.
You know, kind of like what everyone, the other departments have, that similar access.
One thing I didn't think about is emergency news.
Mhm.
Are there any other departments that need emergency news besides select board?
That was one
Brad,
of my
right?
questions posed on there. I wasn't sure how much access you wanted for that, or if you wanted to keep that.
Will Brad put it up on there if something goes on? Probably.
Well, people consider different things emergencies than
Sure.
others, so I wasn't sure if you wanted any of that to be fed through you first.
That might be good. Dr. Marshall, on voting days, he thinks, he makes a decision that we should share with the town. Rather than a bad outage.
Yeah, so why don't we just have it come through us?
Yes.
And then either we'll post it or Laurie or Rose will post it.
Is there anything else that we need answers on?
Not as far as getting the system up, but we have those other issues about
email.
Yeah,
We can deal with that later.
yeah.
Okay, step by step.
So one of the other things I thought of in going through this is the company has changed ownership during this calendar year. So in the past, we had an agreement with them that they would bill us in the fall, but the invoice wasn't due until the following year because that's how it fell in our budget.
Okay.
So this year with the new company and being out of state, well, they were out of state before, but now they're really out of state. I wonder if we won't have to pay them so that we would have two bills this,
3.
yeah, three, this fiscal year and
What about,
get on that process.
what about the agreement that was signed though?
I have a copy of it, so I could go back and check. I'll check the agreement and see what it says. Now, I know when the gentleman was here presenting, it may have only been a verbal agreement.
I thought,
I'll look at the
yeah,
agreement.
I think it's on there.
So you're gonna invite all these people that training on that day. Now, you know that, we all know that some of these people can't make it, right? So we have a backup plan for training people that are,
I think the only thing that we can do is to set up individual trainings later.
Like in-house training.
okay, but that's the plan, that's fine, that's fine. People work during the day and they can't make that,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna try to count for it.
I understand, but,
No, but I get it, people don't have that luxury, so.
so,
So they only offer, I think, up to 6 individual trainings. Rose and I are gonna grab one, but I think that's only gonna count as one, because we're gonna do that together. So, I was thinking that because it's happening when the town clerk's office is open, that we should grab a slot for them as well in case they can't join us for the group session.
sure.
So they could have a one-on-one. Are there any other people on the list that you think we should consider for an extensive training?
Oh, Eddie Mason for sure.
Because I do want to fill it in.
I think one of the biggest departments with respect to posting stuff is the planning board.
That's probably the next biggest after selectmen.
All their documents that change.
CBA, it's probably another one. There are a lot of meetings, but they have to post all their notices and minutes and whatnot. But we can deal with that later.
So she's going to go over a basic user training, which should cover posting on the calendar, the minutes, agendas, uploading documents, those sorts of things. I believe that should be covered in a basic user training.
Yeah, that's probably majority of what we all need to learn anyway, so.
If we need new tabs, then you folks would create new tabs. You're gonna learn how to do that? You think?
I think it's going to depend, like right now, we're allowed to do some things and other things they have to build on their side. So
Okay.
it depends what's allowable for us to do.
We'll learn, we'll find out. We'll find out.
So that's something I think that Rose and I would learn in that one-on-one session.
Okay, so I've done this before. We run the training, people understand, they go away,
They forget.
they can't do it. Right, they, all right, here, I sit, I belly up to my terminal, I can't do it. Hard to believe, right?
Handouts.
What, is that we're gonna do handouts? That would work.
Did she have handouts? Not you
Didn't need
creating
to
them.
ask, but I would guess so, right?
It can't just be click, 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 and she's going a mile a minute.
Right.
Can you?
I can email her ahead of time and see if she has information that she's planning on handing out to go over the tasks that she's going to be reviewing.
Yeah, it'd be good.
I gotta think they have to have.
I think so.
Because I don't retain things out.
And then what's our helpline? Once they're gone, right? It's 8 o'clock at night and I can't get this done.
They have, at least the old company had you could chat with them, online chat, if the phone number wasn't, I mean, if there was nobody staffing the phone number, so, again, we didn't ask that question.
Yeah, I don't know if that's available 24 hours, or if it's just during the day, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's a good question.
I was hoping that during the transition,
There would be extra coverage, support.
support locally.
Oh,
I mean, if it gets too much, we say it's not working.
They're only posting minute meetings and calendars.
Should be simple.
And it shouldn't be urgent either.
There's
so-
no urgency or
Yeah,
emergencies to do that.
That's true too. So,
yeah, but you're not gonna need someone at midnight to.
yeah, I wasn't suggesting that. but-
People get trained and they'll get their cheat sheets and we'll have some growing to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just adjust from there.
Do they have a go-live date yet?
So she said that typically the go-live date is about a week following the training. So hopefully that will give people time to get in there and play around. I wonder if that's an option.
yeah, if there's a test database that we can be using as opposed to our
Yeah,
potential live one.
right. That may be something that is available.
Okay,
What I would suggest doing is start easy and start with just posting, because I think that was really difficult, trying to, having to track you down and then having you post. If the individual chairs could at least post first, get them used to going into the panel, posting for their meetings, and then use the process you have now to do the minutes, but just start with that one aspect of just posting. I think that would be a good help in the beginning. That's all.
So my concern with that approach, I understand the easing into it. My concern with that approach is they'll have the training, and then if they're not using it, I'm afraid that they're not going to remember, and it'll turn into retraining. That's my thought on it.
Okay. Tell me you got a plan.
well, let's see how easy it is.
Yeah.
And
She
this-
did say it's user-friendly. It's supposed
I
to
gotta
be
think it
simple.
is, I gotta think it is,
So-
but, so let's see what the training is, and we can always revisit this topic.
We're gonna start putting blurbs out that we're gonna be, the website's changing and let the town know.
Yeah, so I'd like to get the email out probably tomorrow, just to give people as much time as possible, notice for the training, so they can plan accordingly.
I mean, I was saying to let the town know, but they should see as soon as they log in, it's changed, right?
Yeah,
It's pretty
well, I feel
obvious.
like there's been a lot of conversation about it too in minutes and such. I can put a blurb out though.
Not right away, we got time, you know.
All right. Anything else?
So we came up with 4 individual user sessions. Is there anyone else that you want me to add to that list?
Can we fill out that training?
I think so. I just
So you-
wanted to give her some idea of what she was looking at and try and find out what the best schedule is as far as when people are available to do their time slot. Because she does break for lunch, I think 12 to 1. I didn't know if there's anyone else you wanted me to add.
I'm thinking about people who post a lot. The tax collector posts, no, that's not an issue.
Well, she doesn't post a lot.
She just hits that button to get all the tax bills up there.
Yeah.
That's automatic.
Yeah. Doesn't have, the only thing on our website is a link to their website to see that data.
Okay. Let's see what happens on the training day, right?
Yep.
If she wants to sign up.
All right, so I think that's it from me.
Good, thank you.
All right, planning board.
The planning board is actively working on the master plan survey forms, and we've actually put a posting up for another meeting earlier than our usually third Thursday, which is on the 6th at 6:30. And that's when the planning board is gonna start putting the information into a program so we can start calculating what we've received so far. And we've got a good response,
Good.
so, thank you.
Thank you. Ed, you in?
I hear him.
Yes, the code enforcement road agent.
I'm almost caught up on permits. There's a whole mess of checks for Marilou to enter. Just received another billing permit, that's what I was working on. Other than that, that's where I'm there in that position. Road agent, we started laying down gravel today in Cedar Park. We'll finish it tomorrow. And then start the actual grading. We're just getting it down, making it passable now, because I can't grade until I have a long enough run to get material in the blade and whatnot.
I don't understand, you're putting gravel in Cedar Park, where?
Palmer, Piney, and Sanborn. All the roads that I've ditched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cleaned the ditches out, got them ready. So,
Okay.
yep, all of Sanborn, well, most all of Sanborn. We had some gravel put down 2 years ago. So that's going well. I should have that down by noontime, 1 o'clock. And then, like I said, I'll start grading the final grade, the finished grade, and then we can put some dust control down.
So that was one of the questions I got from a resident asking about dust control.
Yeah.
So that's on the agenda for tomorrow.
Well, I won't do it tomorrow. It probably won't be till Friday or Monday,
Okay.
because I gotta shape it first, and there's no, if it just hinders it and wastes it to put it down now.
I got you.
Then we patched the washout on Tibbetts Hill, because we're gonna go back there and clean out the ditches and culverts and, replace some culverts actually on that road a little bit later. Cottle Hill, we did that today, and got it all done today. And Pike Brook, we've cleaned all the ditches, reshaped the turnaround, and we've got all that ready for paving. Tumble Down's been ditched and is ready for paving. There'll be a final grade just before. I don't wanna, it doesn't make sense to keep grading it until I have a date. that they
Confirmed
can-
date for payment.
Right. So, and then tomorrow, I can't even remember where I sent them tomorrow. But, just working at it.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
it sounds like a lot of,
So then I have 2 other things. Poland Engineering promised us that we would have something by last Thursday. Come and gone. I got on the horn to them yesterday. I'll call you right back. You'll have your paper, you'll have the stuff by this afternoon. Come and gone. So,
well, the window's shrinking at least, so we know it's.
yeah, yeah. So I would say it's safe to say that we won't be paying that out of this budget.
You gotta check it out.
And that's for the engineering work.
For the engineering
Engineering
work.
work, yeah.
Yeah. And then we come to the subject of paving. Oh,
Didn't we need that work done so we could put our budget together?
yep, that was the whole purpose of going ahead and doing that stage first. So in case we were off on our figuring, we could,
So without that number, effectively, we're not gonna do the repair next year because we don't have it in the budget. We won't have it for the budget.
right. Well, that was the reason, I would suggested having the attorney talk to them. Because obviously the last time, whether they had it or not, they said they did, and they still haven't produced it. So, I don't know where you wanna go with that.
We are not locked in with them to do the actual work.
No.
This
no.
is just the
No, this is the
engineering.
engineering, and part of the engineering is they provide some numbers for budgetary numbers. That's part of the job.
So unless we get aggressive, we're gonna lose a year. It might be okay. It might be okay, but we're making a decision now.
Right. Yeah.
So if we get the stuff in from these guys sooner rather than later, why can't we budget next year?
Well, we could. I mean, we could still budget. I mean, I don't know where we're at on that budget.
Right,
We have a rough idea, so we could add to it.
yeah.
Um,
I was just suggesting based upon their track record.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you, but I'm just saying,
Right,
like, if this stuff does come in, you know,
Yeah.
we should be able to,
yeah,
you know, at least pin down a general number.
yeah. Maybe I'll call them and make an appointment to go see the paperwork.
Yeah,
Where are they?
I would assume they're in Holden, New Hampshire?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. His last name is Holden.
I forget where I mailed the letter to.
I can't remember.
Relatively
It's
local.
over, it's actually over in that area.
Yeah,
So,
all right,
so that's that.
okay, thanks for the update there.
And then paving. So the numbers at last meeting were $80,360. And I was confident I could work them numbers. So I got it to $77,102, which is a difference of $3,258. But there's a glitch. F.R. Carroll, who was the lower number, after talking with him today, can't do it at all in September. And he's not sure, he said, his words to me, we'll get it in, but I can't tell you when.
He'll get it in
This
this
season.
year?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So,
If it's too late, do we risk the quality of the work? Will it stand up? You know, I mean, he could do it in January.
as
right?
long as there's not frost in there, it doesn't matter how, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter how cold it is. As the temperature goes down, you know, it's his plant, he can play with the mixture, meaning the heat, the temperature of it getting over here. It's just whether there's frost in the ground or not.
Does he install it?
Produces and installs,
We should be okay.
so.
I can't, October, November, like, come on, you know, we're not, you know, we're not freezing up in
I
October,
hope not.
November, no.
I hope not. Although one year we had 2 feet of snow on Halloween, so, you know, we just gotta keep that money in, you know, your expertise, what's gonna happen this fall?
I think it's gonna take a while to get cold, you know, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
The
you
reason I
know,
brought
it's-
that up is because.
It's not supposed to be a harsh fall, they're calling for a mild fall.
Oh, good.
So, you know, like, as long as we get this thing in before Christmas, then we should be good.
Yeah, yeah,
And even if it does snow, it doesn't mean the ground's gonna freeze.
correct, correct.
He didn't give any indication as to how far he's pushed out, he just said we can't do September.
He was short on help when I talked to him, and the owner of the company himself was actually running the paver yesterday in the heat, so.
I'd open a paving company.
So I brought that up because I didn't know for the 3258, the other company, 2 to 3 weeks, they could come in and do it.
I'd rather go with it if I Carol. That's my thought.
They've done in the past for us, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're gonna be fine. I have faith.
Okay,
You good, Rick?
that's why you guys make the decisions.
Who's the other guy?
Sunday Paving out of Wolfboro.
Have they done work for us before?
They've done small stuff.
I'm trying to get a firmer date out of Carol. I mean, I know he says not gonna go September, but
Yeah. I will, he told me yesterday for the next 3 days, the hottest days this fall, or late summer, he himself is running the paver. So I don't really want to bother them till beginning of next week sometime. But
So we tell him to make a decision? We have another guy, if you're gonna get in here sooner than later, we'll stick with you. If you're pushing out late, we'll just as soon make a move now.
So, I just brought it up because, you know, from the last time he quoted it, asphalt had went up. We went beyond the 15-day window from from his estimate, and asphalt had jumped up. So if we sign with whoever we sign with, it'll lock that price in.
So when do we sign?
We can sign whatever you guys tell me which ones to go for.
I said F on Carol.
Okay.
You say what?
F on Carol.
Go with Carol? I don't care.
I'm okay with Carol. Let's sign it.
How about if we say FR Carroll, as long as the response from him is acceptable for scheduling? Because I can call you when I hear from him, rather than wait till the next meeting. I can call you independently. And if it's reasonable.
Would it help if you said I have a signed contract? What's the date?
That's what I told him. I said, if everything goes well, I could have this signed tomorrow night. And he's, again, didn't have paperwork in front of him. He's sitting on a paper. 350-degree paper rolling out of it.
Both have a date.
Well, if we sign, how do we get out of it if he tells us?
Well, I won't sign it, but I'm trying to alleviate waiting 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't want to wait either. I want to get on.
I'll tell you when.
Get on
So
the work
let's do this. My hand hit the little phone here.
Have a seat.
While he's looking, I looked up Holden Engineering, it's in Bedford.
That's where.
Bedford, well, I was way off on that. Terms, 15 days from the date of invoice,
Front row.
and he sent this to me. Yeah, sure, there's a date on it here somewhere. August 23rd.
What does that mean?
Well, we have until 15 days from that date to sign this and lock the price. The price is
My
good.
question is, how do we get out of it if it comes the end of October and he's still playing with us?
It's 15 days.
Well, we're not getting into any place else, we just.
I'll say at that point, we're out of luck.
And your point, Rick, is we should have a tentative date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we need a date, no, we'll get it done this year.
September 7th?
And if not, go to someone who
So
gives us a firm date, just do it.
September 6th.
September 6th. We have it till September 6th.
So when he's,
So if I get a date, see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to alleviate waiting to the next meeting,
right,
Which is the 11th.
which is
It's
the
election
11th.
day.
yeah,
Yeah, an election day.
Well, he can't do it in September. If it can get done in October, are we happy with that?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna sign by that date, as long as he gives us a due date or
A rough, yeah.
in October, not sometime this year,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
Get an October date, we'll sign it.
Okay. That's what I'll tell them. Excellent.
Early October, as long as you tell us.
Well, we don't have that much volume to have that much push.
Oh, okay.
I'd say I'm only $80,000 job.
Yeah. So, any other questions for me?
Yes, I got one.
Okay.
You're working on Tibbetts Hill on culverts.
Yep.
When we took our little drive with you last year, there were other culverts that had to be replaced that were quote unquote in need of service.
Mhm.
Would it make sense to do those culverts before Tibbetts Hill, given we have just a few houses up there?
Sure. So I have to look back, I have to think about ones that we talked about at that time, which I would suggest that we do that ride around again.
That's fine.
But the reason I'm looking for Tibbetts Hill before winter is because it's nasty plowing up there, and if I've gotta go up there, and I gotta,
Yeah, you mentioned some that we should be concerned about from a safety perspective.
the holes, the big,
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
and that's what, if you're gonna work on projects, does it make sense to do some of those before
Yeah,
Tibbetts Hill?
well, I know two of the culverts were on, actually, three of the culverts were on Tibbetts Hill. One is plugged on the corner, and it's not long enough, and part of that project up there was to lengthen them and get those holes off the road. Because if you remember coming down, there's a sharp turn on the steep part, and that hole that's what you're going around, the inlet to the culvert. And that's all plugged up, and then two up on top have been damaged over the years.
And where I'm coming from is, given your time is fixed,
Yeah,
get the biggest payback for the town, for the number of residents that use that facility.
yeah.
And we don't have many up in Tibbetts Hill, but we have a bunch on Moose Mountain.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we got a bad one on Tibbetts Hill out of the three.
Yeah, I mean, the holes, the sediment holes, I can address them. I can do those too. Because there is several on Moose Mountain, actually.
That you pointed out to us.
Yes, yeah. Those are smaller items, so we'll take care of those.
Good.
Anything else?
No, we're good.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Conservation Commission? No?
Oh, we had the,
Oh, we had the.
Moose Mountain Greenway came in and gave their little presentation, must have been 15 people there. Yeah, it was good. Their next plan one is when we get the report from the forester, to try to have Wendy Scribner come and have them tell the town or whoever's interested what's in the report, in the forestry report that describes the land we have up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Here's what the report says, here's what you can do with it. So that's their next planned get-together, should be towards the end of the year. That's the conservation group.
Heritage Commission?
We're going to be meeting next on September 19th at 7 o'clock here in the town offices.
Cemetery Trustees? No, they didn't meet.
Eddie and Richard.
We met
Oh, you did meet.
this week. Judy
Lewis.
Lewis resigned. So we're looking for board members, and we'd like to appoint Craig from alternate back to member. If the Board of Selectmen would appoint him.
I'll second it. I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Back to member or back to chair?
Member, he's an alternate today.
And if he's a member, he could be voted chair.
Okay. So, any further discussion? We all good?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so Craig is now back as an active member.
I'd like to recommend that we send a letter to Judy thanking her for her service.
Second. Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Just a suggestion, but we can do a motion, it's fine.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And can we have Rick sign that letter since he was on
Yeah.
the cemetery? What's that?
Do you need to say something?
Yeah, I heard the letter, and it reminded me.
Oh, yeah, I got that done and drafted.
I didn't know if you had it on the agenda, or as long as we get it taken care of.
Did you both get a chance to read that road agent letter that I drafted up?
Yes.
Yes,
Are we okay with that?
yes.
All right, so I make a motion that we have Laurie print that letter and give Eddie a healthy stack.
Yes.
Okay.
You gonna keep it on the grader?
No.
All of them.
Did anyone second that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Okay, well, I just don't know who seconded it. All right, so all in favor, we all said aye, so we're good. So we'll get the letter over to Eddie. All right, any other boards or committees?
Do you want to remind everybody there's election day on September 11th, 2 weeks from today,
September 11th, when do the polls open?
8 to 7.
8 to 7, it's a full day voting. We're voting in here now. We're not, we experimented with the old town hall and schoolhouse, and it just didn't work. There just wasn't a good flow in the noise level. So we will be voting back in here, 8 to 7. It is a primary, so come on down.
And then what are you doing with the selectmen's meeting? If it's 8 to 7?
We're gonna have to just cancel. Makes sense?
Do you want to move it to a different date?
That means you don't pay bills for a month, that's the point.
We can have a special meeting just to do some bills.
Yeah, we can do that, we'll be here.
Because the school will want their money too.
We can have the meeting somewhere else. We can go next door. We just have to be
Yeah.
on the premise. We don't have to watch anything. So we could have a meeting at 6:30
Okay,
next door.
That's why I'm asking. That's what we used to do for election day.
And we'll go next door at 6:30.
no problem.
Oh, so March will be good enough with us being,
We just have to be around.
oh,
So when the lights go out, we can fuel the generator.
So we'll keep it at 6:30.
6:30, but it's gonna be, we will do it in the
Schoolhouse.
schoolhouse. That way I didn't get it. Ed?
I heard a rumor that you received a letter from the school board about...
Yeah, we're gonna read that into the record.
Okay,
No,
thank you.
doing correspondence. Again, so much for a quick meeting on a hot night. All
You're
right.
getting a lot of miles on them coming up and back.
All right, so we got the election covered. Old business. I didn't see anything on here. Anybody, one more thing from,
That's new business.
so there's no old business we need to talk
You know,
about?
I just want to tell people about the ZBA hearing Thursday. It's posted.
I'll make announcements at the end.
It doesn't say that. What does it say announcement?
I already know that, because I was looking into that stuff over there, and I have to make announcements.
Put it on.
They can go to the website. All right, new business, we have election settlement coverage, so we'll need to get the stuff over here, move stuff around, all that good stuff, the 11th, so.
I'm afraid to say anything.
Yeah. You've never been afraid to say a damn word.
Do it on the 8th?
Oh, there, okay, I'm looking at the wrong. I'm not gonna be around the 8th. Can we do it tonight?
Sure.
You good with the 9th?
Yeah. Late afternoon or something?
Sure.
Sure.
Like, what do you mean late afternoon, like 1, 2, 3?
No.
No.
Did the full season start?
Uh,
I'll do it in the morning. Pick another day. You gotta be done by the 11th?
Any-
We can't do it
any-
the-
any
can't do it the
weekday
8th?
Uh,
action?
Can we do it
We
the
do
8th?
it the 10th.
I'm gonna
Ron's
be
not here.
Which day are you on?
Saturday.
Oh. I don't care. The 7th?
You wanna do Friday night?
Sure.
All right. So we'll do Friday night. Get here at 6, 5.
Sure. Pick a number. Whatever works for you.
What's that good, Rick? Early?
I'm fine.
All right, so let's do Friday, 5 PM. Here. Set up. Okay. Now coverage. We'll
Let's do it
So-
on Friday.
We'll just figure out Friday?
Sure.
Okay, fine. Then. See what we're all feeling that day. All right. So no non-public. Any more public comments? Nada. Okay. Ed brought up that we have a letter from the Governor Wentworth Regional School District. On Thursday, September 6, 2018, the Governor Wentworth Regional School District Finance Committee is holding a meeting at 7 p.m. at the Lakes Region Technical Center in the Skylight Dining Room. The purpose of the meeting is to review the budget process, the cooperative formula, and to answer any questions you may have about the school district budget. We hope you'll join us. So again, that is September 6, 2018 at 7 p.m. At the high school, which is the Lakes Regional Technical Center,
Who's running it?
September 6th.
September 6th.
Can you tell who's putting that on? Is that a committee that's putting that on? Is it individual?
Well, the person that signed the letter was John Whitmer, Finance Committee Group Leader, so I would say that's probably
Okay.
who's putting that on. Sound all right?
Well, I don't know, okay.
Okay.
Time?
7 p.m. Also, as Rich mentioned, Thursday at 6 p.m.
Oh, no,
7?
6:30.
Or 6:30? I was gonna say I was going.
6:30 is the hearing.
Okay.
Is there a walk?
Yes, they're
At
having a,
6?
at 6, they're walking you around. They're having a walkthrough.
So they're walking through the property at 6 p.m. Well, and the location of them, gonna try.
And the hearing starts at 6:30.
The hearing's gonna be at the,
Everything here.
Here,
okay, last time we met over there, that's why I was wondering why if we would meet over there on a regular basis.
I posted it for here.
Okay, good, let's keep it here.
And I'll be videotaping that for them because they lost their administrative assistant.
And I think they have a meeting at 5:30 to talk about reorganization.
Reorganization, yeah. All right, so 5:30, town office building is their regular meeting. 6, they walk the property. 6:30, they come back for the hearing. And that is on Thursday, the
30th.
30th. Sound about right? You want to go soup and bread?
Oh, yeah, we should.
All right, as we mentioned previously, we hired Brad Williamson. Well, we didn't hire, we've retained Brad for handyman services, for lack of better terms. He went to go check out a problem for us over in the handicap bathroom in the schoolhouse. He did notice that the doorknob in the bathroom is not the proper lever type for a handicap accessible building, it's just a round knob. So it would make it difficult for someone with a disability to get in and out. So he's just saying, depending on the style of the the knob chosen, he was estimating this cost would be between $35 and $75 for the knob plus labor. So, I think you could get a decent knob between, $40-50 and have them installed. Probably take a half hour to install. So,
How about if we provide the hardware? Then we get the one we want, at the cost we want to pay. Is
okay, that's fine.
that all right?
Yeah.
So we'll have him put it in, but $70 is on the high end.
Well, I agree. That's why I'm pitching.
So-
$40-50 you should be able to.
Done him home too. So we'll get it for him, I'll get it.
All right, you'll get it and you'll let them know where it is. All right, so let's get that taken care of. We want to be compliant with the bathroom.
And he did fix our kiosk right away, so we would thank him for that, and we'll get a bill soon, but
What did he fix?
the kiosk was coming apart, was falling apart. The frame, they used interior glue or something, or didn't screw it, so he got right on it and fixed it. So,
All right, New Hampshire Municipal Association, they're doing their annual voting delegation where all paying members of the New Hampshire Municipal Association go and they vote on certain issues that they would want the legislative process to go ahead and push for us. That is coming up on Friday, September 14th at 9 a.m. over in, must be Concord, yes, 25 Triangle Park Drive in Concord. So, it's possible, one was the one to go to that or not. I went a couple years
Well,
back.
also on the portal, the state portal today, they listed, and we got an email indicating they're having tax setting training. Do you want me to forward that to? You should have gotten it, Brian.
I got it too, yeah.
There are some webinars and there's also some in Concord.
Yeah, so tax rate setting training sessions, and there's a whole bunch of different dates that,
Yeah.
from September 18th through the October 30th. And almost all of them are webinars except for October 11th, which is a classroom. So,
How about sending that to us? Because
I can send it,
I've done the webinars, they're not bad.
right.
I'll forward it to you guys right now. Okay. Any other announcements we want to get out before we go on to bills or anything? Or?
Just in line with the bills, I found the proposal for the website development.
Oh, good.
And it does state $4,500, which may be spread over 1, 2, or 3 fiscal years. So the first payment was paid, right?
First two.
The first.
Yeah.
We paid one this year, we paid one when they started.
Right, we have the down payment. What the heck?
I think we gave them two already.
That's what too.
I think so.
Or ones for the maintenance.
Nope. But that's the same, there was no change. That 1,500 was supposed to be part of maintenance, there was no special differentiator there.
Okay.
I remember, that's what I remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. So,
It did say that the annual fee would not increase.
Right.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. One of the $1,500 payments was supposed to be for the annual fee.
Right,
Okay,
right,
yes, that's what I was trying to say.
yeah.
okay, well, good. All right, any, kind of odd, but any other announcements? We did the election, we did the ZBA hearing, and that's it. And I guess we got bills and checks.
Bills. Want me to read the bills?
Sure.
Ossipee aggregates, $929.74. Gaffney Library, the second half of their, the money that is in the budget for them, so $7,000. Land Tech, $633.35. Central New Hampshire VNA and Hospice, they're asking for the whole amount of $1,500, which is in the budget. Craig Evans has bills for cemetery operating expenses, grass seed and fertilizer of $629.82. We have a bill that will be paid to Ed Comeau for the mailing that was done for the planning board, and that's $686.82. And then we have a bill from the attorneys Donahue, Tucker, and someone for $546. And then Eversource, $126.48, and $15.89. And Granite State Stamps for a stamp and notary stuff for Laurie, I say $42.50. And 10 Construction, $12,527.50 for the work from 8/11 to 8/25.
How much was it?
$12,527.50.
Make a motion, we accept the bills as read into the record.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also, I was remiss in announcements. Hayden's been doing the mowing as much as he can, but he's been kind of running around with like a chicken's head cut off. Tom Hill came over yesterday, mowed and weed whacked everything on a rather warm day, so hats off to Tom, thank you, things looked a lot better. So, again, thank you again, Tom.
You think we should pay him?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
2 hours?
Sure. Usually what it takes. Oh, that's just have revenues.
I'll do a bill.
Mhm.
Did you get a budget form from us?
That's where I'm at. I think we put a bill in for 16,000 2 weeks ago, and the budget was almost, was well into it,
We have like 30 grand left.
and now you put,
Oh,
No.
No, it was more than that.
all right, that's why I'm looking at that. Just trying to watch that against the budget.
Again, I trust you, but it's making me nervous.
Yes.
As of July 31st, he had 103,000 left.
Oh,
Oh, okay, fine,
Feel
3,000.
why did I think it was on less than that?
Well, that says of July, July.
July 31st.
So you got, you
16
got
and
16, yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Because we,
Can you read the winter versus road? Is it that?
Yeah, the winter was over.
but we're
A little
not,
bit.
but you said it's not gonna be cold this year.
It's supposed
You're
to be-
gonna hold him to that?
I am gonna tell you, if they said it's gonna be a mild fall. I didn't know.
Yeah, he was a little over on,
Okay,
Snow
I don't
removal.
know why the number 30,000 was in my head, of 30.
Me too.
Okay. All right, cool, Ed, you're fine, go ahead, rip it up, man.
And do-
Oh, okay, I was like, who the hell are these people? I'm used to seeing the other letterhead logo.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused.
Oh,
Oh,
she sent up to Charter a questionnaire, and I'll give you folks a copy, that she asked Charter to respond to, that it reflects things that Charter was supposed to do with respect to the contract. For example, does the town office have cable free like we're supposed to have? That was one example. Did the town receive $1,400 to pay?
1537.
Whatever, 1537, we can't find any record of it. So there's a whole list of questions that she's asking Charter to respond to. She also asked the town to respond to the same questions.
oh.
I have to do one of them.
Yeah, we'll give it to.
You deal with me, but, so I will put together our response that you guys see.
Okay, that sounds good. And did you get that Palmer Drive letter,
No,
the encroachment issue?
no, not at all.
Okay. Because the Weeks letter went out, that was the one
Palmer Drive letter, that's when we're gonna talk about encroachment. Let's see, what's
yes.
holding that up?
That'll work.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah. No, it's not out.
Okay.
Your letter. I didn't sign it.
All right. So anything else? Rick, anything? No. We're good? All right. No other comments, meeting adjourned.